Hello guys, welcome to another episode of the Grey Area podcast. And today we have a new host. Unfortunately, Yvonne is away with health issues. Mumuombe jameni, hata kama hapendi Mungu. Anyway, we have a new host. Let her introduce herself, please.
Hi guys, my name is Joy Kabata. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so excited.
Oh, and I'm Edwin. Mimi kama meamwams insignificant, don't introduce me.
Anyway, so today we wanted to talk about politics. Not just necessarily politics, the kasongos and whatevers, but okay, all of us now we are campus students and we are very preview to the campus politics. And I just wanted to get your opinion based on the leaders that are currently on top in our country and the leaders that are in these schools, campuses, even in high school. Do you feel like there is a future in you? Our leaders, the young leaders, I feel like our delegates, the Congress, I feel like, there's actually hope in like the next 10, 15 years. Like the leaders that are coming in, it's actually good leaders. I'm gonna feel too like, hey, I could recycle to the same garbage over and over again.
Well, to be honest, I feel it's very unfortunate. You would think that the most learned people don't produce the best leaders. Like, if I'm honest with you, our when you're in power with degrees from Kenyatta University and your ends and whatever big schools, I didn't mean those schools specifically. Whatever big schools they have their degrees with. Most people are learning easy degrees zimenunuliwa. But they are not. These people are actually learned, and these people came from these same institutions that we are in today. So according to the things that I've experienced, I don't think there's a different breed of leaders that we ought to be expecting anytime soon. Poleni, but guys, I don't think there's a future in
There's no future here.
I don't think
I don't feel like a future.
Hakuna future.
Mbona?
I feel like the same old traditions zinakuwa passed down some way, somehow. So there's no change.
Like ni kama a whole cycle. It's a cycle yenye ikishaanza inaenda tu, ni kama that game initangwaje, the one that you speed unaangusha ka thing and then the other ka thing beats the other ka thing and then they go volley.
Exactly.
It's like that. It's a series of situations,
connected situations
that are connected.
I feel like there's a 50-50. Like it's getting better and getting worse at the same time, if it makes sense. In getting better, in that I feel like the political scene is changing in how it's no longer mheshimiwa oriented. What do they worship these mheshimiwas? And the political sector is seen as the elite society. Hey, to do everything. So there is hope in that people have actually woken up. So mtu akienda kuvote, haendi kuvote, enda kuvotea mtu wetu. Tunajua ni mheshimiwa. Una vote because you actually think, what can you do? What has he said? What has he done? Or what has he or she done? What are they doing? What will this person bring? Something new hivyo sasa. But also the
do you think that it's necessarily like the entire population that thinks that way, or is it the other people?
I was something that I feel like we have a disconnect. The political scene is changing that way positively, but to us, the people who are in urban areas, people who are connected, like they're online, nini. But in the villages, things are actually the same way. Unfortunately, I come from a village. Unfortunately, for some reason, I come from a village, like deep village, a real village, with mud houses, people like living there always, all that. And sadly, when you have conversations with people from home, the mindset is still like, unajua mtu anakuanga hivi, unajua familia yao ni hivi, unajua alituletea maji, huyu ni mchoyo, atupatiangi pesa, huyu anakujenga atupatia 50 time elections. And you feel like, okay, ini kitu imekuwa happen since the 1990s and it's not changing. So unfortunately, it's only happening like, but I feel like it's spreading. Just as mona watu pia wataunu wanasema, we are going to the village to stay there, it's more peaceful. So like they are mixed, and pia watu wa village wanakuja in these areas. So
this is somewhere they are not informed.
There is a disconnect, but also it's improving. Like so like revolution is like a virus or like a fire. Like once it starts, you can't just put it off once. Lazima hata kama ina burn slowly, like in our country, unaweza sema Nairobi Gen Z wameamka, but watu ushago mnasikia ni youth already they feel disconnected, yet unasema wasi Gen Z juu sasa kabisa ni si Gen Z juu ni hata mchezo. Once those little disconnects like mkitoa those little disconnects already, like kama sasa venye tunaongea, you're not looking at me, I do go to town all through and through. I feel like mzo wacho ananiambia nini, just having a conversation, we are two people,
hata siku anajua umetoka wapi before saa hii anajua like haimata,
it doesn't matter, like, and that's so important that like once it doesn't matter, the concept of tribe doesn't matter, of religion, of culture. Yes, there is all this happen, like okay, we are different tribes, religion, it's our reality, you can't separate ourselves from that. But the thing like tunaweza kaa tupige story the whole day na kuna time itafika tunafanya nini na huyu nani na huyu nani, si sijui walifanyana hivi, walibiana ng'ombe 1960, it doesn't affect us. Hata ng'ombe zetu zote 1940 babu yako aliiba. Bro,
mimi hata sijui jina ya my grandparents. What do you mean like a grudge?
Mimi na feel tunadhani as young people tuko on, but hatuko on actually.
Yeah.
Unajua unaweza assume like hatuko tribal in that sense, but tuko very tribal actually in a bad way. Come to think of it,
in what way?
For example, okay, before I get to that point, let me give another point. Tukisema like for example ati watu wana change their mindset about politics, about how they vote, about how they choose their leaders. Ukikam to think of it, hata sisi bado tuta make bad decisions at the end of the day. Juna feel how leaders au wakubwa wana use student leaders ku influence like students, na sasa
so in short they know what they are, wanajua what we are thinking, and they know how to get the same way to akina Ruto get to power.
Unajua once tomato moja kiharibika kibana mzima.
But so tukisema ati sijui young people sijui tunajua ku vote, sijui tuna vet by use of sijui what, I feel at the end of the day bado tuta make bad decisions. Jo, angalia hata student leaders wetu for example.
I mean there is an improvement. Naweza contribute in that. Yes, there is influence of these leaders. Everyone knows wanarudingi two campuses for young people kwa influence to bring. Now watu unfortunately wanakuwa the next leaders.
The same way watu wa sports wana recruitiwa from campus.
Wana recruit them in their system.
Politicians pia wana recruit.
But also
the same way.
kitambo if a guy walks in and says me no hii tribe, you want to support this guy because of this tribe, and it takes so many people. If he did that 20 years ago, even 15 years ago.
Hata sahi.
But compared to
kuna communities, imagine unaingia campus unapata siji kuna Meru community group.
I hate that thing so much. Actually, hiyo kitu please
very weird.
Kama wewe ni mtu wa
zinafanya
student leader unatuochingi, please eka motion. So anaweza eka motion sister whole parliament. Hizo vitu ziko illegal. What do you mean una join campus unajoinisha group ya tribe yenu?
Sijui Meru
doing is 26 nafanya nini na watu wa tribe? Yes, okay ni wa tribe yetu so
yes, uko proud, but
I'm proud.
Who create a bigger
like what's the point of
my home, I love my people,
what's the point
of
being in university if not to interact with
bro?
So unapata hata time orientation unaulizwa weni unaweza join hii group. So ukikuja kwa class unapata hata watu like wameform groups. Sasa tukipiga story wewe ushaanza kuongea mother tongue hata si relate.
Ni kama universities zikianza universities started zikitoa sijui zilikuwa zinaitwa colosseums ama zilikuwa nini, ilikuwa a bunch of people wanaenda tu hapo wanashare their knowledge. So kama unataka kulearn unaenda na join, unasikia different perspectives, una share with people. Sasa kama umeingia already ushapoa, ni kama unatoka village unaenda unaishi na the same villagers.
Sasa
you won't even have
you have not left the village, you just transform the village into huku kaileta huku.
So it's too tribal.
Okay, yes tuko tribal, but I can say there is an improvement.
It's
Like at least there is hope. Say there's a
at least mimi
naweza amka niseme like unaweza ona mtu wana date and I feel like ushaona watu wana date you feel like nyinyi some years back but unfortunately bado najua people
imepungua juu most of our parents were tribal to be honest. Si mtu kuna mtu hapa ameambiwa usilete mkisiko wangu, sijui usilete mjaloko wangu. But as of now, hata kama tume experience that from our parents, some of us tume choose kutoacha to influence.
There's an awakening.
So in as much as it might still be there because hakuna kitu inaweza kufa immediately. At least venye unasema it's reducing. At least there is at least a bit of change.
So that's when nasema like kuna hope in that. So small like there is some hope.
There is some
like
hope.
hadi watu tukienda kuvote unajua tuko na ndogo mozi 2-3 hapa zitafanya tuuzi. But nikiwa nimesimama hapa na nikisimama na nyinyi for people like when you interact nao kama nyinyi hapa nikesho nikienda nikisimama na wewe kwa line ya kupiga kura sitakuwa wali sasa Edward
utakuwa tu na juu jamaa anarudia
ati sasa jina John huko hata vote hiyo mstage nitakuwa sure like amefikiria like I know you can
hata kama mtatumia vote for the same person at least what who are you voting for is based on Kenya unafikiria unaona ina make sense si ati juu ni mtu like it's the future of our country.
So much certainty. Mbona mnakaa ni kama
tuko too confident.
Mko too confident na mimi sioni honestly.
Honestly I'm just
bado watu wanaongelea mtu wetu bado watu
hizo nini azitoe hata ukiingia kwa comment section sasa hiyo utapata tu kuna mtu amesema this guy hasn't done anything unapata tu kimtu hapo nyinyi wa Kikuyu washanga sasa huyu those are the people hata uwezi reply kuna brainwash nyingine you just can't fix it.
Iko bado jadi nishaiona actually I'll use you as an example. I'm a friend, you make content, I see your content. Kuna time we talked about an issue and the comments were like wewe Mkikuyu wewe unafanya so juu unfortunately like the name you use unfortunately jina yako like inaweza tell which tribe you're from. So like I was watching like oh yeah nikaenda ku comment nikaanza kudance alafu niko like interesting kuna lots of comments let me see like rudi huko fanya hivi
na nini nafanyanga mtu ndio afike to that point where una make decisions solely based on
your tribe
what leads to that.
I say it's mostly the egos of people like so much ego and pride sort of like you feel like ni kama like I'll use example of the Germans and their whole Nazi thing. Pride of we are German, we are a superior race. So why should we listen or care about?
But that's not true. Okay, I get what you're saying, but I think you used the wrong example because I don't think that's what happened in Germany. I think we have a different view of the
like I saw like someone talking on the internet talking about this thing. Akisema like it goes back down to the colonial settings yenye their system set by the white people bado
to divide us.
So when I said this tribe should be this way, this tribe should be servant to this tribe, these guys should be servant or leaders to this that. But okay, for me I feel, as much as yes there's a source to it, the source doesn't matter. It's already here, it's a demon that's already among us. So how do we separate it from joke tumejua imetoka wapi? Tumejua maji imetoka wapi but it's like
ni kama kumekuwa na an infection somewhere an outbreak kuna
like tunataka ku stop hii virus.
It's already happened.
Ndio maana wanatengenezanga vaccine. Hii vaccine iko nje imeua source ina prevent okay I'll use an example of what hepatitis is already here but sasa hawenangi tunaenda kuua hepatitis kwa mwili yako. So wanakudunga sindano hii hepatitis ikikuja
uipate ushaji
so tribalism is here. Our political sector is rotten. So what do? We can't go back to wanasemanga go back to the source. The source is a rabbit hole you can't really get the
so to prevent to the ni kama when a fire starts in a bush
wanaekanga barricade ya nini
ya moto tu bad so you have to find a way to just stop it.
We stop this fire by the small things. Tumeketi hapa kwa podcast we're talking about the political sector. This guy is very tribal and I watch but after this ataketi yako like Jay made a content about tribal thing. Okay, kuna watu walikuwa like but kuna msali skiza ko like that's a step like that's when you gonna hope like I can see like there's a step like sometimes even you talk to people and they are so rigid in their thought process and I feel like yes has changed their mind
but unajua still in as much as tuongelea tribalism and all this division hizo tunaona ni only tools zenye politicians wanatumia to get into power. Shida sasa ni hawa politicians what do they want to do when they get to power How si unaongeanga nao kwa street waombe mimi siku moja anataka kwa governor. How does he think? Like yeye anataka kwa governor afanye nini? And how does he plan to get to that position? Most of these positions nowadays, I'm not sure if it's the truth, but from what I've heard as Ikwangi, it's not as easy as you think. Elections are not as fair as you think, and it starts from way early. Yazi huku kwa the country nini, sijui governors and presidents, inanzia even institutions like schools, universities, unapata there has to be something you have to do ndio upate hii cheo. Hizi vitu zimeishi kukua kutoka tukua kids, tumekuwa tukizisoma in set books, tumezi in movies, and I was surprised to find out that these things might still be true until hadi saa hii. Unaweza pata maybe unaitishwa sexual favors, ama you have to pay sijui who ndio upate connections. Do you think hizi ni vitu zenye tunaweza kuwa able to stop maybe in the near future?
Maybe a whole like data cleansing of the system. Sasa ni na feel ni kama ni hawa watu pia ni mostly a product of their own of the system. Let's say I wake up, I'm very outspoken, I'm confident enough, I know I have some influence, and they say, "Not, I want to be the MCA of this podcast." Nataka watu wanivotie. Like naweza change, naweza leta kamera nyingine tukue na multiple shots. Tutakuwa na lunch huku tunakula tunaoda. Like ni vitu hadi nyinyi
tutakuwa na juice.
Like jana nasikia anasema ai nakuja next episode. Kijana ana vision huyu, unaona? Alafu naanza kuingia kwa hii system. Before I get to become the MC of the podcast, naambiwa, "Oh, you have to sleep with a certain madam." What? Yo, lazima. And because I'm so hungry to do this change, because I actually love this and I'm passionate, I want this change to happen. I feel, sacrifice. Tunajuanga like if you want something so bad you have to sacrifice. I sacrifice like my morality. Naeka kando kidogo nasema let me do this. And then you open a door. This madam, just even men to men. Why you live? This person anakwambia aje? Okay, hata kwambia direct, but you've done this, let's say a sexual favor with them.
Na by the most people hiyo kwa hata itakuwa immoral kwa most especially talking about men. Okay, for women I think imekuwa talked about for a while. Most people who wanna assume that it doesn't happen for men as well. And actually most men say wakisikia kitu kama hiyo watakuwa like I get to sleep with someone and get power at the same time. Itakuwa like fine, I'll do it. Most people think like that. Why would I not?
Sasa shida, you think that it's just a one time thing. Once you open that door, there's steps. Kila kitu inanga step moja. Hakuna stairs unapanda. Hakuna step moja tu tushafika at the top building. Multiple steps. Once this step finds out, so Mako na offer this offer ndo alioffer umsei offer. Mbona mimi nisiitishe? Nasikia unapeana hii kitu. Bro, give it to me also, I want it. And these people in this system, also most people are psychopaths, and you know it. Atapigia msema mwambie yo. So this guy is coming up, he's offering this. So usijifanye mtu mzuri. Like kama usikubali kitu ya bure, because Kenya we have this thing that you don't do anything for free. Na ni kitu yenye inafaa kwa free, inakuwa niko a passport unaambiwa to trace you dongapi.
Nilikuwa niseme that next. Inakwanga evident hadi kwa systems zetu kuchukua sijui ID.
Something that should be free, lakini mse kwa politics pia anasema aje, mse ana offer hii like wewe usikubali kitu for free. So najipata in this system. By the time I'm at the top, nishakuwa MC wa the Grey Area podcast. Alafu sasa kuna a new recruit amekuja nataka kujoin. Your brother amekuja sasa nataka kuwa MCA. So lazima take these steps.
So unamuonyesha the same way you were taught. Like mimi nimeonyeshwa this is how things go. Ndio maana na place unaambiwa ati sijui huku hivi ndo kunaenda.
Kenya
inakuanga hivyo.
Kenya eti iko hivyo. Kila mtu Kenya eti iko hivyo. Haifa iko hivyo. Mbona mna make peace na bullshit?
Mbona mnakubali? Kwani nani ana own this country?
Mna make peace na upuzi. Ile kitu ya a police officer anapewa hongo for no reason. Even this week I was in a matatu. Said tumesimama kidogo na ame exchange hivyo. Niko like okay, hadi haja check mbona umempea
tu do.
Gari okay, maybe I'm not a police officer but hii matatu iko na graffiti. Ilikuwa tu like
according to
hatuko
you,
excess, haikuwa na loud music. We were just chilling. Iko kwa highway. This konda amesimama tu hapo and then akapeana hongo like, why? Alafu so ndo while I'm just thinking about it, like, okay, what if mse alipata mat zinapeana chwani.
Akapata tu ni system.
Umeosha hii mat, umelipa license, umebeba the exact size, uko na mafuta, everything is perfect. Watu polisi anajuanga mimi lazima mtanipea chwani. Na usiponipea we hivi kitu iko na taa yako ni chafu or something. So like ni a system una propagate. So like once this system umeingia, ukijipata hapo ni ngumu jitoa. Na this system ni kama ina corrupt watu. Like corruption is not just about plundering money in our political sector. Corruption in our political sector is even on individuals' morality, sensitivity, humanity.
It's worse than you think.
The stories you hear, even like from campus students, the political sector, some stories you hear like, damn, these are actual monsters. In the political sector, you hear mass graves every day. That's humanity.
Not how I train.
This person wasn't born evil.
Covered up.
Yeah, you're not evil. You're not born evil. No one is inherently born evil. You're not a devil. But yeah, humanity is stolen. I'm a corrupted actually. So that's corruption too.
Kuna this lady, this politician, a lady, women rep. Anasemanga to survive you have bad girls, good girls don't get
Mili.
So the question is, is it so normalized that we survive kwa political scene as ukiwa bado uphold your moral conduct or something, like you have to sleep with someone to get to a certain level, ama kuna watu wenyewe wanafika to certain levels without doing too much. Sleeping your way to the top see easy actually, baby. See easy. Ingekuwa so easy, all of us tungekuwa
it's not that easy.
See easy tungekuwa uko juu si wote. Sasa swali yangu, like, does it mean ndio kuwe politician lazima ukuwe ready ku sleep your way through?
I think to normalize in the sense that as for now, you being a lady, if you're going to the political sector, the people you find there already expect that you are ready for it. Where uko ready?
But one expect
uko ready. Like, kwani nile unaendanga unaambiwa
kwani umeshangaa like you didn't know what you are coming here.
Kwa podcast unapata tunaongeanga for 1 hour kwa like kwani ni podcast
kwani umefikaje hapo?
So acha kuizi change the system.
Yeah, that's the thing pia, like this system pia
hapo sana.
There is hope.
Where is the hope?
The hope is the
I can see everywhere we are mahali kila topic tunatacha
unapata tu ni systems zimekuwa put in place, zinatoka tu in the same place, unapata tu it's the same old thing over and over and over and
how
over.
This system when it started, like the evil became more and more until it's the point it is now that there are mass graves in campuses, here sex transactions and all that.
Imagine it's not even getting worse. It's getting better. Juu kisoma history is bloody,
bro. It's just scary. It's just as bloody, only that we got better at covering it up.
Oh, okay.
I mean, bro, there is a war going on.
Okay, but
there's people being slaughtered. But they're being slaughtered.
In kuna whole nation imevamiwa karibu, it's all
Palestine is being taken over.
Okay, it makes sense. Yeah. I think reading about things
in 100 years utasikia there is this country, ni sayo utasikia the Roman Empire expanded.
Utasikia
America is in whatever country they're in.
They kidnapped a president. Imagine someone reading about that in the future.
In a history book umesoma such a thing.
In an operation that took 30 minutes or an hour.
Oh.
Like they land in your country, they take your commander in chief and they leave.
We hear stories about the Mau and all that in the political sector, assassinations, and we feel like, sikizi ni kuzuri watu wa assassinate
ni watu
kwa wale massacre. Shakahola massacre. Right now there's a mass grave. It was in each county? This mass grave, the recent one.
And it's wanatumianga the same scripts, the same way Suloi Dam burst a few years ago, and right now it's suddenly it's a
Same. You just, when you're living through
Wow,
it, you don't
wow.
see its intensity. You like they cover it up. But then once ni kama venye once in a I'll use an example of what a pool of water. You're swimming. See like you feel like go to a pool na swim. Ama like a hole. And then ukitoka ukiangalia from afar uko like, oh, hii kitu ni big. Like from an outside perspective, you see a clear view. Na tuna feel like, yo, this is fucked up. During the last 5 years, there's a war in Ukraine, there's a war in Afghanistan where they talk about the Taliban,
Like, I want to
Americans, Venezuela, Palestine,
Vietnam,
South Africa,
there's always been
xenophobia, Kenya, there is
wars.
Riviera, Sudan, Burkina, that coups. Like, I feel like the past 5
Mali.
years, a whole like history is being written constantly. But once you're in it, I feel like it's being written
Yeah,
because
you
you're living in it.
Oh,
you feel like
you're
it's
in
the
the
natural
moment.
order. The same in our political scene. Like you're living through it, and you feel like it's just okay.
The instance that you're giving about the latest mass grave was in Kericho, Makaburini Cemetery.
Yeah, Kericho, that one. See, it's a mass grave. Umepata answers. The mass grave. Umesikia inaona kiongelelea.
hata I didn't know about it until
Why
right
women
now.
are being cut in half, like in surgical ways.
Wanawekwa into bags.
Unajua ni a whole horror movie. Shakahola, mass graves hadi saizi zinachimbwa. Zilifika sijui mia ngapi, wakachoka, wakaamua kutuficha. I'm sure there's people not found there. That thing, we all know it's deeper than just a guy saying that tunaenda heaven. But we don't think about it. But let's say our grandchildren, I feel like, wazazi wetu waliishi time gani? Like ulikuwa teenager time hizi vitu zote zina happen. Ndio pia utakuwa unasema Corona was here.
COVID, it's a whole pandemic.
Yeah, so like even in this political scene, like as for now we feel like kuna kitu ina happen. Bro, there was a whole revolution of young people who stood up in a country yenye typically inajulikananga you're very tribal, and we all know. Young people just stood up and said no to this.
And wakaichukulia serious.
Things may not have changed
by
for the
force.
better, like a lot of things may not have happened.
But we showed our presence.
But
they know
The mere
we are
fact
there.
that it's possible
Unajua,
for
the problem
us to stand
was
up.
kulikuwa na opportunists.
Yeah.
When you take advantage of the whole thing.
But they've always been there. Even in the stories of Roman empires, even
After independence, Kenya, independence, you think the people who got power, the ones who fought for it,
Yeah.
they are not.
Even
It's not
before
someone
independence,
else
let's
who
use an
benefit.
example of our own history, but the last year, the Roman, the Maasai community. We all know about the story of the Oloibons, the Lenanas, and all that. See, that was history. Like these brothers did this. Like politics has always been part of our history, not just as Kenya, but as humans. So it keeps on evolving. Sometimes it gets to this level of badness, goodness. Like it has never been good actually, but it gets better. It's not good, but sometimes it gets better. Sometimes it gets worse. At this point, I feel like we're in a position where it's in that stage where it's getting better, where young people can actually say, fuck these people, fuck this system, fuck this. Like, even in this thing here, 10 years ago, if a politician cried in church, sisi wote tunaamka asubuhi mtu amelia kwa kanisa. Si unaweza enda uliange kila siku.
Nobody cares.
Sang person, first of all say atuendangi kanisa.
Kulu.
So unaenda kulia mahali atuendangi. Kiani kama uanze kulia nje kwa ibada siku.
Hata tuko
Uko siku unalia huko. Na mbona unalia kwanza? Na hiyo place mbona ukilia ina make any importance? Like you feel like already you need change. Juu kama sasa hivi tunasikia hizi jokes za hata ende kwa kanisa tunajua. Kitamba kienda kwa kanisa ni mtu wa Mungu. Eko chana mtu wa Mungu. So like see that's already getting better. Like that's already one thing like it's getting better. The mere fact that you can sit down right here
Lakini
and talk about it.
Shida ni
better.
easy revolutions yet this is the first time zina happen. They've always been there. They've always been watu wanafikiria hivi but aziendangi anywhere. See, these are the people, the kinds of revolutions that people like Gaddafi wanajaribu kuanzisha, and like kuna mtu tu atakuja a change the whole thing.
But sasa unajua
Like zitaanza yes, but will they? Unaona venye Joy anasema kuna opportunists. Yes, we will have a revolution, but will we be the ones still in charge at the end? Ni sisi bado tutakuwa tunaipush. Like yes ni sisi, we might be the ones who started it, lakini ni sisi tuna benefit at the end, and will it even be beneficial, ama someone will get assassinated, ama watu wakuja wakuwa abducted. Ni vitu hata tumekuwa already tuki-experience. Sijui mbona hata napeana far away examples. Hizi vitu si we've been seeing people saying mtu alikuwa abducted, and tunaona hata videos, sio plain as things. So do you think that hii revolution yetu actually inaenda anywhere? Like, what do we need to do ndo tukwe different na these other generations that came before us? Because we are obviously not the first people to open our eyes and see that we are being oppressed. Kila mtu ameshikwa na hivyo, but will our efforts really be fruitful? Like, what do we need to do for our efforts to be fruitful?
Mimi na feel tunaongeanga more na tuna act less.
Yeah.
Exactly. Kila mtu kwa social media.
These are so
Keyboard
loud.
warriors.
These are so loud, bro. We are so loud. All out here is just speaking, but no one is acting. And something, even being an optimistic person, having hope, nimekuja kurealize the people who are actually involved in politics are the people who are dumb. Nitaita tu wajinga, jinga. Hasa wenye bado nafikiria nataka mtu wa kijiji yetu. The ones who are thinking nataka mtu wa tribe yetu. Hand wako active in politics. Sisi wengine we are too cool to be in politics. Ai bro, mimi niache kwa rafam ni kwe MCA. Ati nianze kusema Harambee Nyayo. I can't. Lakini sasa hiyo sasa ni opportunist. Ni hawa watu. Juu sasa ni amko willing, but I'm willing, but I have my own agenda. Mimi kwa kijiji yetu, we are so proud in that. This is just an example, like I'm a politician, nataka kuwa politician. But I'm person mwenye kwa kijiji yetu we have this pride, like watu wetu.
Yeah.
Now I said wayangu wanataka a leader. Okay, I'll take an opportunity and just be that person.
Unajua uko right juu ukisema wako dumb, unaona ukitokea as a politician na uko outspoken, someone somewhere anakushut down. So ukiwa the fool
always wins.
Ndio wanaona kama wanaweza kumanipulate.
Yeah.
Inakuwa easier for you because you are the kind of leaders
they say. Our leaders si wajinga. They know the game. These are smart people. Like even you see them in campuses, like the people we study with. Like this is a smart guy doing an undergraduate. So he's actually smart. But sasa akifika huko juu ana realize watu wanapenda wajinga. Kenyans tunapenda wajinga. So ana play that character so well because you are smart enough to play this character and actually get what you want. Ni kama like actually this joy is for you. Hii kitu ya for women. How many women have you heard talking about feminism in politics? Yeah, you see the mere fact that pako
like hata ameshinda kukaa.
Kitu yenye ilianza kitu 2023, I think that the whole feminism thing. Even there is a whole demonstration ya end feminism in Kenya.
I remember that so much.
Have you seen any women reps talking? What are women reps
doing?
doing?
Women reps inakuanga.
What are they doing?
okay, mimi sijui wanapanga.
I think that that's the first position that should be abolished.
As a woman in Kenya.
Okay,
what has a woman rep done to you or your community that you see? Every area in Kenya has a women rep. You as a woman, tell us.
Like, have you felt any impact?
Hawananga a lot of impact politically ama decision making, but na feel wanafaa remain hapo.
Okay, we have the wrong.
Na feel wakitolewa ni kama mna take away power from women. So hiyo city kitolewa ita affect women significantly actually.
So they're there for gender balance in short.
Yeah, and it's very important if you ask me.
Okay, so the seat ndio too important.
Yes.
It's just
ni very important.
Okay, this will be a very bad thing to say, but it's like a trophy wife. I mean, I know it's crazy to say. You just have a wife. She doesn't work. She doesn't do anything. But you just want a wife. I mean, we have a lot of men in the closet. Pastors, men in the closet.
A wife too akuonyesha watu niko na wife.
Yeah.
But deep down here.
You're just a trophy wife. You're just there. So they're just there. We all know power is not given his hand. if he just give you this position,
Like, it
that's why he doesn't
doesn't
have any
really-
power. But if,
unajua ukisema ati the women reps are not working, pia kuna men in other positions wenye hawawork just
Yeah, they're
as
not working.
equally.
Okay, sisi
So
hatuko-
hatuwezi
But
enda
men are
tuseme
the
wewe ni
majority.
governor hauwork, hatutakuwa na governor
Yeah.
kwa hii county.
already men are the majority, and men have proven to be poor leaders. You've seen it. So the women can stand up, and unfortunately it's a patriarchal
It's
society, so
very
it's so
difficult.
difficult for a woman to try. But sasa how wenye they have this position, yes, it does not have enough power.
But jaribu kuonyesha
Try.
at least next
Try.
time tukupe
But
hiyo.
Unakumbuka
try.
tulikuwa tumemention kuna systems, yeah? So
Oh,
na
so the
feel
system.
hawawezi
Oh,
ongea.
okay, that makes
Awkward.
sense. Like the
Yeah.
system doesn't allow these women to do anything significant.
So we know that we just need one brave person to akuja abolish these things. Unaona kama venye you are talking about Hitler saying, sasa my idea of what change we need ni someone like someone like someone like okay, let me not use Hitler, it might be a bit controversial. We just need someone brave enough to come and get rid of all these systems once and for all.
So that brings the thing here. I think we need a good dictator. I'll use an example of Paul Kagame from Rwanda.
From Rwanda.
I mean, love him or hate him, the things he's doing in DRC, we all know. But we can see the way Rwanda is moving. Actually, before we started shooting, I was looking at an image of Rwanda. They've wametengeneza like a certain section of the road just for buses. Kenya, we have BRT systems. They have not
Imagine
worked because of
tumekuwa na
politics.
hizo ideas from
They're even
from
infrastructure ideas, infrastructure. Mimi
wanaanzisha halfway.
nilikuwa nadhani zile ni solar systems ziko Thika Road. Kumbe they are BRT systems zenye zikoi come to life. I'm like, okay,
So sad.
so
Like,
we need a good dictator. Like Kasongo,
plans za kumake Kenya big zimeishi kuwa. They've always
Singapore,
been there.
Kenya waache
Kuna kwanza na vision.
The vision is, we have so many good plans. Like
Na
kama
tuko na capability ya ku actualize, we actually make enough money as a
the
country.
money that is being stolen.
Lakini sasa these people lack vision. Okay, the vision is there, lakini our leaders hawana
But
hiyo
sasa yenye
vision.
mimi na
Our leaders are just
zaidi
greedy.
ni like, but in our country we still have this section of people which have friends. Unfortunately, when you're like, yeah, this chachukua kura na vote na ita affect anything.
Like hata
My
imagine.
question to them inakwanga to the same. So hujachukua kura, hujavote, so
Sasa
why are you
uko-
complaining kama umechoose to distance yourself from it? Yes, umeamua ati hakuna choice. We're just not taking this vote kuvotia president peke yake. There's so many people. Actually, right now, there's so many young people coming up to become politicians. Wenye content creators, wenye wameenda shule wamesoma, unemployed locally. Actually, I'm a young person. Tuko tunataka a lot of young people who stand up for our country instead of recycling the same kina Atwoli who has been there since 2000 position. So there's young people coming up. But I miss for content creator. Everyone is a content creator nowadays. Ukisema ufanyi kitu na content creator, you're not doing anything for anyone
Hata
then.
State House wana content.
Everyone is a content creator.
Creation
Creation edge sahi. So these are the people who are standing up and using these platforms now because they have influence. They're trying to use it for the benefit of us. So like hao ndio watu tunafaa ku stand up now. But bado unasema huyu hakuna mahali anaenda. Huyu hakuna kitu anafanya. Hii ni Kenya. Bro, you're part of the problem.
Mimi, the people I have the most problem with ni the old ones when you walivote last time na wanasema hawata vote tena. Si uliamka mapema last time.
They got us into this mess. They woke up early in the morning to get us into
Alafu
this
all of a
mess.
sudden,
Alafu
we don't have a
when it's time to
choice.
clean their
Yeah.
mess up,
Wacha.
wanapotea.
Imagine that is
Really.
How?
Na by the way, what are the requirements of meaning? Unajua most people hata unasema young people are not vying for these seats. The same way you are saying wale watu wenye wako na the same mindsets na our current politicians
I think it's
are the only ones that are
undergraduate
participating.
certificate in most cases, undergraduate certificate or a high school certificate. I think.
So tumalize tu shule. Guys, give me a couple years.
Kama umesoma and you're outspoken, you're influential, you're confident
So
enough,
good,
yeah, and you have a vision and you can actualize on your words, you can do it. Na pia vile umesema watu wanasema eti hawavote na walivote vibaya. Kuna hizi ndogo bozi zinataka kuvote eti kupunish a certain tribe.
The most stupid
Kama
thing you can say.
nasikia mtu amesema huyu ni mwendawazimu. Madhari kwa empty sana. Like watu wanafaa kuwa madhari. What do you mean you're punishing a tribe? Kwani wewe after umevote tena Uganda today uko kwa Museveni ama like what's
To the American.
kuna tunashikishia Uganda mtu ndio unajam uko like Okay, when you go like when I start to choose you and nitakuwa very proud of myself.
Nika ina go down.
Yeah,
Yes, unasema yes tunakuwa open about the
But
whatever.
it's getting
But before
rotten.
to vote, nini itakuwa ima happen kwa education, for health.
Like they are killing the country
it's dying.
very fast.
It's a dying state.
Wow,
It's like the
and
way Nigeria right
they've
now
only been there for
is
like
dying.
hata wajamaliza their first term. And
It's a
everything
dying
is
state.
going downhill. Oh my god. Hata
It's a-
Unajua kuna ile
dying state.
unafanya for your own personal gain, but wana gain.
Ingi-
Unajua na try kuona.
Now unajua
ukikill
some
every
of these
sector,
people like wako already rich enough to last them for generations.
Like-
What are they doing?
It's just
Wanapeana
crazy. You just like the more we think that things are getting better, they are actually getting worse. Hizi vitu za tunasema eti acha 27 ifike, before ifike sasa tutakuwa
will we still be there? Like
The
but
ground
hata
is
tutakuwa na
already-
anything that to
we are
fight.
already knee deep in this situation. So
Like what we had done the first time, hizo demos zilikuwa the right idea.
so even
There
for
was-
the
because
for the
the-
leaders we want next, I can see in our political sector, yes, they might have a vision. Photos today.
So unakuja unaifukuza in her own house.
So I was saying like for the leaders you want next year, like even for our viewers when you're going to vote, as much as you're saying you want a new leader and they're talking about at your need to improve this system, not just improving and creating new system. I want to know how will you fix this system? Uko umeingia ati mimi nitaleta pesa mfukoni. Kabla nipatie pesa kwa mfuko, utapunguza price ya mafuta. Our transport system will be better. Like once everything is the system, like umeweza kurekebisha hizi system, the money will come. Like useme tu nipatie pesa kwa mfuko na sijui natoka wapi.
Ujui unatoa hiyo pesa
na
wapi.
feeling ni kama kuna some of them wanakuanga na good intentions, but wakifika huko wapate the loopholes you just give up. So
Unapata
maybe
it's a
wasafishe
whole-
wote waende home.
Si wote wanakujanga wanasema they will finish the cartels or will finish.
It's the same.
Wanakuja
the
tu
same
wana
speech.
recruit.
The
Wana
same
recruit
speech,
to the
just
same
twist it here and
cartels.
there, but yeah.
In short,
So
we all know
much
the
happens.
problem. The people before us, we all
Yeah.
wanajua the problem.
Solving it does that.
Live too, we don't have solving something like this in a level of confidence na courage yenye hatuna. Courage
it's
kama ya
outspoken.
Nepal.
Yeah.
Like you have to do something about it. Talking alone won't change anything.
But at least we know, like
At
the
least
first
we
stage
know.
near ignorance itoke kwa watu, like the fact that you know this thing exists
Yeah,
and
it
it's
doesn't
with us,
want you.
that's the first step. So yeah, but you tell us pia juu
What do you
na
think?
hii kitu ya politics yenye tunaogopanga kuongelea, just talk to us, tell us more about this political issue in our comments. I always tell you at some point I would like to read out your comments, tag you
Yeah,
when
to
you're
draw
in
your
some-
opinions,
yeah,
your
like,
point of views.
your opinions. Just a conversation, we can't just speak the three of us or just us here in ka studio.
Na pia nafikiri kama politics inakuanga imefanywa a very sensitive topic.
Yeah,
Juu kuna watu watakuja waganga up against wewe mpaka uko like
it's
like,
very sensitive. It's
very
it's so
well,
sensitive.
it shouldn't be. I feel like you should talk openly na hauogopi watu waganga up against wewe kwa
inakuwa
comment
easier
section. Like we should freely express what we feel like. Kana feel this leader.
kuna watu by the way hawezi ingia kwa an argument ama conversation without being defensive and offensive.
Bas.
Anaanza ameingia tu because you have a different point of view. The first thing anafanya kwanza ni kukutusi and then akwambia wewe ni tribe yako inafanya ufikirie hivyo, you don't even have your mind of your own.
You
Ni
just
very-
get tired.
Yes.
Watu kama hawa mimi sijui wanatoka. Hebu text us if
Yeah.
you're one of these people.
Text
Hebu
us,
tell us
tell
where
us,
you
talk
get
us-
those.
talk to us,
Unafikangaje hiyo point?
Just contact us and tell us more what you think about this issue. Conversate with us. We like to talk more about this topic actually. After some few episodes, like you can tell us, oh, you feel like this one, let's talk about it. So yeah. Until next time, it's been nice.
See ya.
Dios muchachos.
Bye.